think it's a very spontaneous response I'm having. I don't think I'm going to edit anything here. Hope you enjoy this. Let me know. I watched The Way, recommended by some friend. This is the movie about El Camino de Santiago, acted by Martin Sheen and his son. The central plot is very strong, and the landscape, the setting is gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to give you my opinion about it. I think the first 30 minutes of the movie, 38 or so, are really good. I was in. Okay, spoiler alert first. If you want to watch it without knowing what it is, or any spoiler like me, you can leave now. But if you watched it or you don't care to watch it, then continue watching this if you're interested. Okay, the central plot is a father who loses his son when the son goes to do El Camino de Santiago. He's an adult son. He goes to get his remains in France and then decides to complete the path for him. So it is very meaningful and moving. I think, selecting the casting of Martin Sheen, his son, is also right on spot. So you're on from the get-go. Who cannot be on something like that? Such a tragic thing and such a meaningful journey he takes on. And he then spreads his ashes along the way. That is beautiful. The problem starts when they add new characters in the journey that go along with him, and how unnecessary to start with. It's like, this is a solo search. Okay, you're like, okay, well, let's see what they add. But soon you find out that you don't want to see that character anymore. They're funny. They're funny or overacting. So it ruins the thing. That movie is perfect for a sort of road trip movie where you have those landscapes and history of going back 1,200 years in such a beauty and difference. It is eye candy. You can't go wrong as a director. You just go there to show us a lot of things there. Put good music. Have a good musician, make it like the soundtrack of The Way. And you're on, and then you show him spreading his ashes. Like, not many words really are needed. The whole movie, to me, could have just taken off there 30 minutes and just go. And it will live forever in my heart. Now, here comes the problem. At different hostels, he finds other pilgrims. They are all in the way that I described in my previous video. They are all into self-searching, nothing religious. You can call it spiritual, but not really. Over there, there's one that her purpose is to quit smoking. The other to lose weight. And the third one has a writer's block. Oh my God, I feel so sorry. The writer's block, what a tragedy for somebody to have. I'm tired of that plot in the movies. It's so self-serving. Hollywood does this all the time. Usually it's some writer having a writer's block, and usually he's in New York, and he lives in a loft, and he's claiming to be poor and all that. So I'm fed up. Like this, that's a plot that I don't care anymore. And they make it into, oh wow, you can't write. All right, so there's that guy. Overacting as hell. I don't know, it's a school of maybe the Spanish, the theater, or something. A lot, like throwing things in the air. It's like, whoa, from the beginning. Then he comes down, but it has many flaws, that movie. And you put up because the plot is strong and the setting is very strong. And you're interested in what is this path? This way. And I think that's what happened with many people in the United States that watched that, and now they're intrigued about El Camino de Santiago, because even with the bad development of that movie, it remains in you. You're like, wow, that is so cool, and you just want to keep watching those sceneries. Okay, the worst character is the woman that shows up on in her 40s, something like that. So overacting, so funny. She has, these speeches that is obviously she's reading a script like really fast because I don't think, and she smokes, and all the time she's like super produced, like she just got out of a beauty parlor or something. Okay, well, within the stereotype of the pilgrim, but she's always with nice jeans. The worst is that she's brushing her teeth. The rest, she's always like posing. She's in a perfect position. Who is coaching these actors? Like, no, you're just dirty from the road on that, and it's just tired, and you're not all the time, posing. Stop that. But oh my God, the moment I saw her, I thought, please no, don't make her go in the journey because I can't have an hour and 20 of this woman there. She is unbearable. And she's like, she calls him boomer for baby boomer. Who does that? You don't know, a stranger, and you start, hey boomer, you're this, and she smokes. She's like from the 50s style, and speech is so scripted and long and convoluted. And talks and well, not too much, but whenever she has the dialogue is super artificial. So you got to put up with that. You got to put up with another one that wants to lose weight, and they make him to be sort of annoying. All right, that's fine. And then the writer's block and guy, and okay, and the character Martin Sheen, when he gets on the way, there's another big flaw there in the character because he's sort of a grumpy guy, no friends, very little dialogue. Unless when he got really drunk, he gets really nasty. The rest, he doesn't greet any much. He's like, like that. That is not real. I'm sorry to say, my friend, because when you are in a foreign country, you're much nicer. If you're also in a situation where you never were before, you also tend to be nicer with people. Also, if you just had a big loss and you didn't need a lot, you just embarked in this journey. You don't know the language of two countries, France or Spain. He doesn't know anything about it. Doesn't care apparently about it. And so he, with his companions, is really grumpy and like in his thing. And it's a big flaw because you see him before. Like, who is this character? Is somebody who works in the service area. So he is an ophthalmologist, and you see him interact with his clients, patients, and it's like funny, warm. He has friends and plays golf with them. He's a very social guy. Now you put him in that, he's a grumpy old man that doesn't even greet, like the guy here is like, what are you doing? Who writes this stuff? It's like, that's not real. And also, I think Hollywood does this a lot. It's a disservice to Americans, put it that way, because it portrays Americans not as nice as they are. They're not that bad, right? They're usually very courteous. They would greet, yes, they don't shake hands or they don't kiss, they don't hug. There's like hi, which for an Italian or a Hispanic is like that's kind of removed. But still, they would say, oh yeah, nice, what you want, yeah, nice to meet you, yes, and they're nicer than what Hollywood usually portrays. Hollywood portrays Americans just not greeting to start with. So they get on the phone and say, hey, blah, 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 and they end the conversation. They don't even say goodbye. All right, have a nice day. They don't even say that. In general, it's like, okay, yeah, I got it. And this guy does the same. He gets to the hospital and go on this. Okay, bye. And let's say, he turns around and leaves. The same, the policeman gives him something before he gets in the journey. He kind of connects with him, goes to him, helps him. And he's like, all the time like this, gives him something and he grabs it and turns around and leaves. Like, man, rude, rude, rude. And it's like, they're not like that. I lived here long enough that they're much nicer than that. So, but the same they do, in parentheses now, with kids, and Hollywood does this with kids and teenage kids. They always portray them as these nasty boys and girls. And like all the time, it's like that. If you have a kid and you're gonna have in Hollywood, there are two characters. One is that, and the other is a genius, like a precocious genius. Like 7-year-old. He's like quoting Einstein and refuting. It's like, who are these children? Children are not that. It's not only one category. Anyway, so that's another flaw of the character that for most of the movies that. Then another thing is, okay, they get to Burgos, from France to Burgos, it's like not even a third of the trip. And the movie is past halfway. So you're like, oh, wow, you got a long way to go to cover now. It's kind of wrap up the movie. So I think that's the problem with not making it a road trip. And it says, and you have so much to cover, so beautiful, many beautiful things. Well, so they kind of rush the whole thing. And to the point I was making in my previous video about, well, watch it, but basically, watch it if you want, right? But basically, only 38% of people do it for religious reason, and even responding to the protocol with respect. Okay, I don't expect them to be Catholics or anything like that, but just respect the place you go in. If you go to a church, act with the same respect that you would act if you go into a mosque or a synagogue, or a Buddhist temple. In a Buddhist temple, if I go to a Buddhist temple and they tell me you gotta bow and remove your shoes, I will do that. It doesn't mean I converted to Buddhism. Or the synagogue, they tell me to put this thing on my head. Sure. What else? With respect. Okay, for the Catholic Church, no. And this is what I've seen all over Spain. Just go take pictures. They don't, just do this. Wow, I don't know, something. Act with respect. So these three characters get to be in front at the entrance, where actually I don't think any tourist nowadays is allowed, but they're allowed to enter the cathedral from the main stairs. See El Pórtico de la Gloria, the door of glory is called. And they're told, people here approach this on their knees, to the next column is there, like 2 steps on their knees. They're on their knees before the saint, before the apostle here. And only one of the 4 of these pilgrims does that. The others kind of look like that and just go touch the statue there or something and just do their thing. And it's just, you wonder, okay, just put that same thing in a mosque. You see a movie, now they're entering a mosque and they're told by this person there, what they do here when they enter is they bow and then go enter. What would be the reaction if you watch that? They're just told that and they just go and just walk in. Wouldn't we say, hey, that's really rude? Who are these people? I don't like these characters, right? But apparently with Catholic Christianity, it's fine. That's what bugs me, and okay. Anyway, like I said, the plot stands until the end. It's like good plot. It remains with you. What you believe it. You believe that path, and you get interested in that. I bet many people did, and I think it's worth watching. lot of fast forwarding. That I did that. When these guys start talking, they're so disrespectful and so like out of character with this father that lost his son. Even when they find out, the writer's block, since now he's doing a book and he's like inspired again. He asked him, "Well, can I write that? I'll put that in my book. Say something more." He's like, "You don't do that. You don't do that." The guy lost his son, his adult son, only son. Don't do that. It's like people don't do that. And the lady, the same thing. She keeps like boomer like that and talking to him. I don't know, and kind of in a very artificial way. All right, was worth watching to see what American cinema did out of that. To see that plot, that's very good. Makes you think. To see El Camino de Santiago, and to make this video. Now, I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. It's a very spontaneous response I'm having. I don't think I'm going to edit anything here. Hope you enjoy this. Let me know. Bye.